My guest today learned how to ride a dragon. Stay tuned to hear the rest of the story.
He's a Florida witch with something to say. Your friendly old sage with a teddy bear face. The Alexian Show. The magic's on its way. He's all set to play, so let's not delay. Welcome to Alexian Show.
Merry meet, everyone. My name is Alexian, if you didn't know already. And joining me today is my co-host, Galena. Hey, Galena.
Hello.
Galena's filling in for Draken, who is in Maryland right now, being grandma. In fact, she shared a pre-approved, this has been approved. Don't anybody message me. This has been an approved photo. This is her with her new grandbaby. Aw, isn't she sweet? So Draken is busy being grandma this week, and we wish her well, and congratulations to the entire family. That's so awesome. So tell us a little bit about you, Galena.
Well, I'm a private student through you for Wicca. I'm a mother, 3 kids, 3 daughters. Work at a golf course as a greenskeeper. I'm kind of on vacation and kind of working, like work in the morning, then go on vacation with my daughter. She's here visiting this rest of this week. So
Yeah, that's very cool. So yeah, Galena found me, didn't you say on TikTok?
TikTok. Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's just crazy. It was meant to be. But she found me on TikTok. And then what was the next thing that happened?
I found you on TikTok, and then Coven a Cool Cat started, and I joined that. And
You
then
joined the
started
community.
messaging me. Mm-hmm.
That's right. You joined my community on my website at alexianmusic.com. And then we got to know each other as friends and started working with each other. I think it was like a couple, like 2-3 months in or something crazy. We had a conversation, and it was like, where are you living in Alabama? I knew she was from Alabama. So we were talking about where she lives in Alabama, and, well, where are you from? And she said,
Missouri.
and I'm like, really? I'm from Missouri originally. Where from in Missouri? And she said, a little town that's right next to my little town in the Ozarks. So literally, we grew up being neighbors and didn't know it. We were like, I don't know, 40 minutes away from each other.
About that, yeah.
If, so it was really wild, wasn't it?
Yes,
we were freaking out when we found that out. And then, community, we kept working together in the community, and one thing led to another. And she officially asked me to train her in Wicca. And I took her through her paces, and she was accepted as a private student. So now she is studying with me, working towards her first degree initiation, and doing quite well, I might add.
Thank you.
A very studious, smart student. Very, very good. So I can't believe this is our 5th show. Can you believe that? I know you've been watching from the beginning.
It's crazy, but it's going well, though, I think.
I have some analytics to share. In fact, as of yesterday, we gained another 529 new subscribers just in the last 28 days, bringing the total on my YouTube channel now to over 4,100 subscribers. Yay. I started in the 2000s, right? Episode 3 has over 3,881 views since it was published. And episode 4, which was last month, has over 2,468 views just since last month. So yes, we are getting views. We are growing with subscribers. I am so thankful to our guests and our sponsors, and to all of you guys, the viewers, for caring. I mean, really, you subscribe, you're watching, and I love you all for it. And if you haven't seen the first episodes, you might want to take a gander at them. They are available for replay, and you could even listen to them in your car. You don't have to watch. You can listen in your car. And yeah. So where's everybody tuning in from today? In the comments section. Type into the comments on YouTube where you're tuning in from today. Are we getting any responses?
Yes.
Hey,
Marry me.
Awesome. So, what have you been up to lately, Galena?
Well, as I said, I went on vacation, went to Missouri, got to spend some time with family, and of course, spent time in the Big Piney River, which is my favorite parts.
You went kayaking.
Went kayaking a couple of times. Yep. And then we come down here, and then we went to the Alligator Alley and showed my daughter the alligator farm over there. Took her to the beach.
Now, is that like a place, like a establishment?
It's like a farm, and they have like over 500 alligators, I think I read somewhere. So it's
The
really
only
neat.
reason I'm asking is because here in Florida, when you say Alligator Alley, it's actually an entire highway that goes through the Everglades, and it's called Alligator Alley.
Yeah, it's actually it's like a farm that's on a swamp. So you walk a boardwalk across the swamp, and you can look down at all the alligators, feed them even. It's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'll walk over them, but I'm not gonna entice them with food. I live in Florida, but I don't do gator. I stay away from all of those places. And it's funny because I live 10 miles from the most alligator infested body of water in the world.
Now, see, I wouldn't want to go see that.
Yeah, that's like 10 miles from my house.
Yeah.
But I honestly have never seen a gator in my yard or anywhere in my vicinity of my, housing development, I guess is what it would be called. I'm in a suburb of Orlando. So I do want to remind everyone that this is an interactive show, and there will be a question and answer opportunity at the end of interviewing our guest. Galena, I don't know why I just tried to call you Galen. Galena will be covering the comment section in YouTube. So don't be shy. Speak up and ask your questions by typing them into the YouTube comments. We can even show them on screen and ask our guest your questions. We got a great show for you today. With us today is Meren King, who is a pagan recording artist. I love her to death. I love her music, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But before we begin, I want to get the right screen open here. I want to congratulate Becca, who won the Arcane Treasures giveaway last month. She probably got the most stuff so far in any giveaway that we've had. Kalisha was so generous and donated all of those resins and burners and oils and all sorts of stuff. And then, of course, Eric donated his book and music, and he had musical condensers he donated. She also got a $25 gift card certificate to paganmusic.com, as well as a free membership in my community, so that she can enjoy that as well. So congratulations again to Becca. Yay. All right. This is important. Very, very important. Then we're going to start the show. But you got to hear this. Listen up, viewers. If you're late and you tuned in after we started, it's imperative that you click the red live button, the word that's right next to the volume control on YouTube, to catch up to the real-time broadcast, okay? Because today you could win the bundle of goodies from our guest and our sponsors, but you're only going to win if you enter. And if you're lagging behind the live broadcast, we're already going to draw and give it away before you even know that the drawing started. So go ahead and click that red word that says live right next to the volume control on YouTube, and it'll skip you ahead. You can always watch the beginning of the show later after the show's over. Okay. And as always, if you want to be a guest on our show or know someone who would be perfect, please visit alexianmusic.com/guest and apply. And in fact, here are the categories. I want to break them down for you because you're probably thinking, well, I'm not a pagan musician. I don't belong on this show. There's so many other things that you could be. For example, are you pagan and raising small children? We want to hear from you. What are your challenges? What are your thoughts? How do you raise pagan children? That's a whole segment I want to have guests on for. Do you have a pet or a familiar? We want to see you and your pet or familiar in the segment called Fur, Feather, Scale, and Skin, right? Do you have stories of paranormal activity, metaphysical happenings, or magic that was especially beneficial and worked for yourself and others? We want to hear from you. That's a segment called Magical Moments. Are you a storyteller of myths, morals, and magical insights? That's sacred storytelling. Are you a magical practitioner that happens to be skilled in the use of plants and herb magic? Well, that's Garden of Shadows. We'd love to hear your thoughts on specific herbs and how you can use them for magic. Are you a poet or a songwriter? Well, that's Enchanted Verse. We want to hear your writings and your musings. Are you a crafty witch? Think arts and crafts. Are you good with arts and crafts? Have you been accused of being the Martha Stewart of Wicca? We want you on this show. That's the segment called Crafting Magic. Are you an artist, a photographer, sculptor, painter, etc.? That's Pagan Visual Arts. We want to see your wares and get the word out so that you get more business and sales. Are you a good cook and you like to weave magic into your food to benefit others in health and prosperity? Well, that's Kitchen Witchery. Come on the show and show us what you got. And of course, are you a pagan author with published books? Secrets from the Pagan Bookshelf. So yeah, you don't have to be a pagan musician. I know that so far we've had mostly pagan musicians on, and that's only because I'm a pagan musician and I know a lot of other musicians, and it kind of just happened that way. But we want to hear from all of those other categories too. Okay. So spread the word. If you fit the bill, alexianmusic.com/guest. Galena, how's the chat going?
Well, we've got Eric. He's back.
Hey, Eric.
Nice to be everybody.
Cool. So smash those like buttons, subscribe, and don't forget to ring my bell so you don't miss the monthly show. And while you're at it, be a helper and share the show with your like-minded friends on your socials and help spread the word. Okay, let's get started with the show.
It's time for Enchanted Verse.
Meren King is a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist from Ocala, Florida. She has captivated us and audiences across the country with her unique blend of folk, blues, and rock and roll. Meren's latest project, Walking the Spiral, Songs from the Wheel of the Year, is a beautiful homage to the cyclical nature of life and the seasons. She draws inspiration from her pagan beliefs, incorporating spiritual themes into her music that resonate deeply within our own community. Whether she's performing originals or covers, Meren's soulful voice and masterful instrumental skills create an unforgettable, enchanted experience. Everybody, please welcome Meren King.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. Thank you
Yay.
for that intro, Alexian. I want to meet this person.
Yeah, well, you deserve every word of it. You really do.
Thank
So,
you.
what were you? I'm going to be a little silly right off the top. What were you doing this morning?
My husband and I went to go get some breakfast, and then I came home and took a nap.
I love it. I love it. You know, I'm learning to appreciate naps as I get older, especially in the afternoons after lunch.
It's become a real thing for me now that I'm in my 60s. An afternoon nap.
Wait. You're in your 60s? I would have never thought that.
I'm
I thought you were my
64.
age. I thought you were in your 50s.
Thank you.
Like, seriously, I thought you were in your 50s. I had no idea.
Yes, in September I'll be 65.
Well, happy almost birthday.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we met on the Red album.
No, we met
Did we meet
several
before
years
that?
ago through Tag, I think, Trees of Avalon Gathering.
Did that come first?
Uh-huh.
It's all a blur.
I know.
It's all a blur, especially with COVID. It's all a blur. I didn't realize Tag was before Red album.
Yeah, we met before the pandemic. We sure did. Yeah.
Well, I apologize. My memory sucks.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we got to know each other better, anywho, on the Red album.
Yes,
absolutely. And I became enthralled with your music and your song on the Red album, which I adore. I really do. I love that song. And I want you to tell us about this photo.
Oh, so that was at Pagan Spirit Gathering 2023. And this is 13 of the band's artists who all had songs on the Red album, and we were able to all get together last year at PSG 2023 and actually have a Red album concert. Really pushed the album, sold lots of albums, lots of t-shirts, you know, and really got the word out to a lot of people. Yeah, we've got Sydney Simpson there on the left, and then that is Elaine Brown, one of the folks that's watching right now. When she was with, and I forget his name, but they were pan fried, and they have a really sweet song on there. And then there's me, all ready to call the goddesses.
In your red hat.
Goddess calling. And then right behind me is R.L. McDornan, who has his own song on there. And then next to him is Beltana Spellsinger, and she's got her own song. Then crouching in the front by the music stand is the inimitable S.J. Tucker. Directly behind her is Richard Williamson. He's a member of Spiral Rhythm, but he also had a song on his own for the album. And then there is Krista Chapman Green right next to them. And then we have Kiki and Kiri and Kira and John with Spiral Rhythm. And then we have Louis Garou had his own amazing song on the album. And then that's Bela at the very end, and she's part of Spellsinger. So that's everybody that we had together for the concert, and it was so wonderful to be up there and playing on each other's songs and just sharing the space. It was a really wonderful thing.
I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I wanted to go so bad, but I couldn't make it to that.
Yeah. We were very happy that we had 13 out of the 19 artists. It was a good thing. I really love your song too, but I tell you, I don't know that I would be able to sing that over and over for folks. So very sad. There's several songs on the album that, like Brian Hankey's song, he said he wouldn't be able to really perform that either because of how, I mean, they're devastating. So, But luckily, we have enough songs on the album that are empowering and can give the folks that are fighting this fight the strength that they need to continue.
That's right. And if you don't have your copy of the CD yet, there are copies still left at paganmusic.com. We also have the USB bracelets that come with all of the music, the artwork, the song lyric books. There's all sorts of cool things on that USB bracelet, which
Yes.
I didn't even know they made those. It's the coolest little thing. It's like a little stripe of, I guess it's like vinyl or rubber or something.
It's just like a regular bracelet, and then it clicks together.
And it clicks together, but the click is the cover for the USB. It's so clever. And so when you undo it, you just stick it right into your computer and all of it pops right up.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
It's a very cool product.
And you can also order the album digitally on Bandcamp.
That is correct too. Yep. Yeah. Yes.
And there are a couple of shirts left if you want them. Go get them.
So tell us about Drums in the Swamp when you were discovered.
Oh, well, back in 2016, we had a death in the family, and it spurred me to do something with my life. I had pretty much just retired, and it spurred me to get back out and do something with my life. So I started Sweet Marie's Emporium, which was a general store that had just about everything. Whatever you would need from CVS, I had it. Plus clothing and incense burners and unusual Oriental instruments and just tapestries, you name it. And so I had gone to Drums in the Swamp, which is in Louisiana. And I happened to be vending next to Unleash the Goddess, which is Carrie Hershepton, and John Skoglund was helping her at the time, and they're both members of Spiral Rhythm. And I had taken my guitar because at the time I was playing a lot of cover music. I think I had one or two of my own songs written, but mostly I was doing cover stuff. And on downtimes when there weren't any customers or anything, my helpers and I would sit and I would just doodle on the guitar. And I was singing a song by Rising Appalachia, and Carrie comes running, literally running over, stops and says, "You play the guitar? You sing?" And I was like, "Yes." And so she sat down and said, "Can I sing with you?" And so we sang the song together because she knew it too. And we were doing harmonies and stuff. And then she ran off and she went and got John and brought John over and said, "Hey, she plays, she sings, look." And I says, "Yeah, and I actually know a lot of your guys' music." And so we sang their stuff for a little bit. And then they were like, "You've got to come to Pagan Spirit Gathering. You have got to come. You've got to come." And I think that Drums in the Swamp was in May, and with Pagan Spirit Gathering being in June, I was like, well, okay. So I paid for my company to come, and we went. It was at Tall Tree that year. And I went and was encouraged. They have a talent show that they call the Performer's Rite of Passage. And I was greatly encouraged to go up there and go sing. So I did. And actually, the person who's been doing my drumming for me every time that I play now at PSG, RL, he came up and he drummed for me, and Carrie sang harmonies for me, and I sang a song by Mom Muse. Oh, well, I forgot the name now. But so I sang that, and that was the start of the encouragement that I needed to get out there and become a musician. Now, it took another couple of years before I actually was like, I don't want to keep doing Sweet Marie's anymore because I want to really do this music. So in 2018, I sold everything out of Sweet Marie's. I had a buy one, get one. And then the next day a buy one, get two. And then the next day buy one, get three. You know, I just wanted to get rid of my whole inventory. I did. I even sold, you know, the words, the stuff that you hang, you know, my racks and everything, sold all of them, walked away with enough money to be able to purchase another good guitar, purchase the things I need to be able to record, and a performance sound system.
Nice.
And that's where it started. And in 2019 was my first year doing backup vocals and drumming and guitar for some of the performers at PSG, and that's where that started. And then in 20 and 21 I did the online Pagan Spirit Gathering, and then in 2022 they asked me to come out and be one of their offstage performers. So they have a Green Dragon stage and then the main stage. So I did that. I did Green Dragon stage for 2022 and 2023. Then this last year I was on the main stage, and
Nice.
it was lovely. It was wonderful. And I guess I'm a professional now.
Well, you know the definition of a professional, right? Somebody has to
No.
give you at least $1. That's it. You got paid. That's the definition of professional. Everybody
Yeah.
remember that, because when you're first starting out, especially if it's your own business or something, there's this thing called imposter's syndrome that happens. And anybody that started it knows all about it. If you've started your own business or started doing your own thing, and it's that self-doubt that you feel, and you hear that inner voice, you know, going, why are you doing this? You're not that person. You're not that person, right?
Who do you think you
Who do
are?
you think you are? Right, exactly. But what you're trying to do is just be yourself. That's who you are, right? You're just trying to be yourself and let people appreciate you for who you are. So a really not good friend once came to me and said, well, you know, the definition of what professional means. And I go, no, nobody's ever taught me that. And he said, they just need to give you $1 and you're a pro because you just got paid, right?
Yeah.
So then onward and upward from there, right?
Yeah.
And it's become my motto, onward and upward, right? So you have to get comfortable in your own skin, you know.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. And no, you totally have. I'm talking to the listeners, you know. You just have to do it. So if you, the listeners, have this calling, follow your heart. Follow your heart, because
Do it.
you need to do it. That's why you were put on this earth, and that's your destiny, and everything else will fall into place. You know, happiness comes from doing what you love.
Yeah, one of my songs, Pathways and Passages, states, it was the summer of my 59th year that I found out what I really am. And that's a musician. So
there you go.
It doesn't matter how old you are. Start now.
Start now. Yeah, age is not an issue. I have a whole video I make about that. It's never too late, right? Grandma Moses didn't start painting until she was in her 90s or something,
right?
Like that. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do you. You do you, and let the rest fall into place. And the other thing I always say is, what other people think about me is none of my business.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I still need to get past that, because I still worry about that. But that's just from ingrained, you know, the way I was raised in society and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So Samhain 2019 tag, you had some visitors come visit you?
Yeah. It was a really wonderful Trees of Avalon gathering. Trees of Avalon gathering is a Florida festival. And yeah, there I am. Oh, in the same dress.
Oh, look at that. You're wearing the same thing. That's funny.
But it's a lovely festival put on twice a year, but I think they're going down to once a year. They're off right now in 2024, but they're going to come back in 2025. I think that's the plan. But so we were out in the Ocala National Forest at the Kiwanis Shrine. You've been there.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful celebration. It was I believe it was a Viking ceremony. And they had invited everybody with a drum to come into the circle, and we were all part of the ceremony and part of the ritual. And towards the end of the ritual, they were calling in all of the ancestors. We were calling in all of the land spirits and all of the people who had come before us. And I felt a right hand on my left shoulder and a left hand on my right shoulder. And I kind of looked, and I didn't really see anybody, but I knew that it was my mother and my grandmother. It was Mary Alice Selma King, my mother, and her mother, Wilhelmina. And I've written songs about both of them also. But that's the first time that I have felt a presence like that and knew that it was my ancestors, because I was given up for adoption when I was 3 years old. And so I didn't grow up with them. And so it's been a really long journey since my adoptive family has all passed away now. It's been a real journey to pull my real ancestors to me and to fully embrace my history and the history of all the generations going back.
Wow.
And so this was a really profound moment for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
All brought on by the magic of music and drumming and ritual.
Absolutely. All of those things, ways of gaining the sight, as we say.
Yes.
I love it. So during our preliminary meeting, we discovered that we had something else in common besides just being pagan musicians.
Yes.
We both play World of Warcraft.
Yay! Sometimes for the Horde, sometimes for the Alliance, because I play both sides.
Well, the Horde and the Alliance are kind of friendly now, but back in the day, I would have had to kill you.
Yes, I know.
You were Horde.
That's all right. It would have been a good fight. I'd have drawn my hunter out, though.
I only play one character, and it's a night elf druid, balanced. So I'm a moonkin or a boomkin.
Yeah, I have my priest Reyna, and she does all her questing in shadow form, but she does all her healing in holy form. Yep, there she is on her great tree dragon mount.
Beautiful.
Yes, I just actually this mount and another tree dragon that they have were partial inspiration for a trilogy of songs that we're going to talk about later.
That actually coming right up next. Yes.
Yeah. So that, they were a great inspiration, along with, other things that I'll tell you about. But yeah, I greatly enjoy World of Warcraft. I also have a hunter that I is really my main character, Beastmaster Hunter, with all of her pets. And I greatly enjoy this game. I've been playing since 2006, off and on. And I still play to this day. I was just playing yesterday.
Which expansion was 2006? When did you start?
Oh, it was original Warcraft. Yeah.
Wow. So
And then
you're
came
like
the
a
Burning
leprechaun.
Crusade. Yeah. So
I started in Burning Crusade. So the
Yeah,
second.
that was like 7 or 8.
Wow.
2007 or 8. Yeah. And we, and that was back in the day when you had to get CDs. So
Yes.
you would get CDs and then you'd go through like the
Load,
6 CDs or 10 CDs to load everything up.
Yes.
And so we did that. Both my husband and I did, Robert and I. And so it was the original World of Warcraft and then Burning Crusade. We actually went to one of the games. I think it was GameStop. Went to GameStop, got that one, stood in line, got that one. Then Wrath of the Lich King, same thing. GameStop, stood in line, waited, got that. And then I think Mists of Pandaria, I think, was actually a download.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful
I
artwork.
absolutely loved Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Loved playing a panda. I mean,
yeah.
their dance was so fun. And just, the whole, I've always loved Oriental culture. And so it was just absolutely wonderful to be in that space.
I'm sure a lot of people are rolling their eyes right now going, oh my God, the geeks. And I'm like, yes, we are geeks. Just deal with it.
That's right.
So, yes.
And then every expansion after that, I've got the latest expansion and I've already paid for the War Within. So
not yet, but I will.
I'm ready. I didn't get the super duper version with all the extra la, but I did get the version with the mount because I'm a mount.
Got to have your pixel crack.
Yes.
So my story of how I got into WoW is pretty funny. I did not want to play. Victor and I, we work a lot and we don't party. We don't go out a lot. If we go out, we usually go out to eat. It's all about food or movies usually for us. But we live within our means and we don't spend a lot of money out and saving for retirement, etc. But my friends started playing World of Warcraft and some of the people even in the coven started playing World of Warcraft. And I did not want to play because I don't have time. I'm always working and I'm always so busy. I love gaming, but the last game, and I kid you not, the last game I played was the original Mario Brothers on Nintendo, which I had.
I played that back in the day.
And before that was Pong. I have actually in my garage the original Pong machine. It's probably now, but from Montgomery Ward. That tells you how old it is.
Oh, I remember Monkey Wards.
So we went out to lunch and our friend Lynn, hi Lynn if you're watching, joined us for lunch. And she said, when are you going to start playing World of Warcraft? And I'm like, I really don't have time to play, it's not that I don't want to join you guys in this fantasy world, but like, I just don't have time to play. And she goes, well, I needed this mount. Pixel Crack. That she's the one that termed Pixel Crack, by the way. And so the only way to get this mount is if you refer somebody to the game. But I didn't want to wait. So I just bought another game and I bought 3 months worth of playtime so that I could get the mount. And she pulled this box out of her purse, put it on the table, and she pushed it across the table. Try it. You'll like it. It was like a drug deal. I swear to God, it was like a drug deal. And I'm like, I picked it up and I looked at it and it looked interesting. And I go, so let me get this straight. You already bought the game with 3 months of playtime and you're just giving it to me? And she goes, yes. Try it. You'll like it. It's very pagan. Well, that was the clip when she said it's very pagan. Yeah. And off I went into WoW and I've never stopped playing since. So yes, it's very addictive.
Rob and I were playing EverQuest.
Wow.
And he was having a problem with his computer. So we called a computer guy to come and work on his computer. And I guess I was playing EverQuest or something. And he goes, have you guys tried World of Warcraft? And we're like, no. And he had it on his laptop that he had brought. And the minute he showed us that and showed us, the way you could like 360-degree look at everything, and just the way that the whole game was, we were guild leaders in EverQuest. We handed everything over to the next person, gave them all our platinum, and left EverQuest.
Wow.
For World of Warcraft. And
it's an amazing experience. It really is. And it's one of our guilty pleasures that we do for $15 a month, Now, you said you pulled inspiration from the artwork in WoW. By the way, if you don't play, shorthand World of Warcraft equals WoW, WOW. So you drew inspiration from WoW for what you're going to share with us today. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, I did draw reference from World of Warcraft, but I also drew reference from the Pern novels. I've read like all of them by Anne McCaffrey and Todd McCaffrey. And but the real impetus for what I call the Dragon Trilogy was a full moon circle. I participate in Circle Sanctuary's online full moon circles almost every month.
Oh, nice.
And we were doing a Chinese New Year green wood dragon full moon circle. And they send an email out about 2 weeks before the full moon and say, hey, do you guys have anything you'd like? Here's the theme, come share with us, la. So I was like, oh, yeah, I could come up with something. And then I became obsessed. And I wrote a 4-year story about green wood dragons, hamadryads, who transform from oak trees, yew trees, all the trees, you name the trees. They transform into dragons and also human form if they want. And so I have a 4-year story of the discovery of the tree dragons, and then the first year, the second year, and the third year of their life. And so what I've done is I wrote the first song for that full moon circle. I called it Deep in the Wood. And I shared information about the Chinese dragon year, the year of the dragon that we're in right now. And the song. And then after that, I couldn't let go. So that, I shared that at the full moon. And then for the next couple of weeks, every single day, almost the full day, I had my head down and with the guitar, and I wrote 2 more songs over the period of that, plus the story in between.
Nice
Song.
So you're going to share with us the 3 different lyrics today. Why don't you go ahead and share the first lyric, Deep in the Wood, with us now?
Sure. Well, so you all know that Chinese astrology says that we're in the year of the Greenwood Dragon. And so I'm following the myths of all of the characters that are inside of the Chinese zodiac. And I learned that each animal or creature earned their place in that zodiac through a great race. And so the Jade Emperor, who was seen to be the ruler of all heavens and everything back in ancient times, he called for that race to happen and had all of the animals come. And if you were within the first 12 people, then you were going to be on this group of astrology. for the zodiac. And so now the dragon was in the race, and they thought that he was going to win because he could fly high and could just shoot in front of everybody and get there first. But he passed by a village during the race that was on fire from wildfire. And so he couldn't just pass by. So he stopped, he helped put the fire out, and then kept going. And as he's coming to a great river, he sees that there's a bunny rabbit that's struggling to get across the river. So he gave him a breath of wind to get him across the river. So that rabbit ended up being in 4th place, thereby placing the dragon in 5th place. And right behind him was Snake coming up. So the dragon, because of his kindness and his compassion for others, placed himself lower in the race than he could be. However, that was a representation of his yang energy. The Eastern dragons are seen to have vitality, vision, and vigor, and they're action-oriented creatures, benevolently motivated leaders who hold the good of the collective far above their own needs. And that's what I really like about them. So while I was researching and learning about the wondrous creature that is the Greenwood dragon, I had several dreams of snowy forests under a full moon, flights among the stars, and a great tree dragon with limbs of wood and feathery leaves on its wings, amber eyes shining in the night. Here, let me tell you about my latest dream. Deep in the wood, on a frozen night near spring, amongst the trees, under the full moon's soft gleam, a journey taken to follow my strange dreams of leaves and starlight and things not what they seem. I dreamt of a world tree dragon living in the glen just north of the Great Life River in the mountains of Where and When. My footsteps were muffled by the snow and soft-skin boots, and I made my way over the stones and old roots. The quiet stillness belied the thriving life, sleeping beneath crystal blankets of ice. Oh, what if I found that dragon in this eldritch wood? Would they be like the stories tell us, intelligent and good, diplomatic and wittily creative, full of merry mirth, nurturers of their forest family and protectors of the earth? Well, I came upon a clearing on my way, the moon so bright it transformed night to day. With the sound of a forest whipped by winds, my quarry rose on great wings of leaf and limb. Into the starry sky this vibrant creature flew, rising high above the canopy, a shadow across the moon. A sudden feeling came upon me of wonder and delight. In my mind, the wind whipped past me as I joined them in their flight. A simple knowing that the spring is coming, warm days are calling. The snows will soon be melting, all life reaching for the sun. Gently gliding upon an early breeze, the massive dragon landed among the trees. And as the rising sun shone above the wood, their great head turned to gaze at where I stood. I swear they grinned as I looked on from the trees. Then they disappeared into their home within the deep wood.
Beautiful. Man,
So,
you're reading your lyrics to your song, but you're reading it so like with all of the emotion and passion. That was very good, Meren.
oh, thank you, honey. It's a story.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So then the second one.
So still not truly, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you the whole story. So still not truly believing my own dreaming eyes, I started across that early spring meadow and into the growing daylight, wondering at the immense beauty of what I had just seen. It was as if a mighty oak tree, its crown and limbs reflecting the late winter, early spring season, with leaves of black and brown protecting the tiny green shoots just starting to peek through. It was as if it had uprooted itself and transformed into this amazing entity I had seen flying across the moon. Coming to the opposite edge of the clearing and looking into the woods where the great tree dragon had entered, I felt as if the forest itself was alive and watching every step I took. And that's because it was. Spirits of the woodland peeked from around the trunks of trees as I ventured onto the path left by the dragon's passage, and I could hear faint bird song, their singing enticing me to continue deeper into the wood. As I continued to follow the dragon's path, I began to see damselflies and flutterbys and bees, dryads and nymphs seemingly dancing all around me as I began to see in the distance a shimmering portal. I could hear the dryads whispering voices like wind through the leaves. You follow the great Balamaraya, the great tree dragon, guardian of the forest and watcher of the ways. Well, it seemed to me that the ambient temperature was rising the closer I got to that portal, and soon I had my jacket open and the hood pulled back so I could feel the gradually warming air, a song rising from within me. Come with me to the deep wood. Follow along through the frost-covered bracken and tall trees. Walking the pathway of the ancients, we are guided by damselflies and honeybees to their home where the great tree dragon dwells. Guardian of the forest, keeper of the old ways, Balamaraya moves through the remnant snows of winter, their oaken body suggesting ancient deep roots, their wings of timber and last season's black and brown leaves protecting their green shoots of the coming spring. Look to the amber eyes of the dragon. Tell me, what do you think you see? Visions of past times and great adventures, or the mystery of what is yet to be? Snow-dusted dryads slip out from the dense trees, their whispers like wind through the memory of autumn's lost leaves, leading us all through a shimmering portal into a clearing as verdant as luscious late spring. Life in abundance surrounds the great dragon's home. Birds fill the sky with their celebration songs. Come now, creatures of the forest, to welcome the springtime. Their heart of the woodlands, the great tree dragons, magical shape-shifting child of the earth and the air, Balamaraya, warden of the ways. Look to the amber eyes of the dragon, deep secrets twirling there within. There is a calling to stay and to listen to the stories and songs of this eldritch kin. Look ye to the amber eyes of the dragon. Tell me, what do you dare see? Wisdom and wonder and great adventure, and the promise of what is yet to be. A whole world opens up before you when with dragons you choose to keep company. Well, now that I had entered into the home of the great tree dragon Balamaraya, I could see that there were more than just the beautiful oak trees that made up the forest on the other side of that shimmering portal. Dragons and fae folk of many different kinds filled the lush forest of oak and ash, of boxwood and walnut and yew, of hemlock and maple and hickory and pine, all growing together and living together in an impossible seeming world-spanning forest. Hardly believing what I was seeing, I watched as trees shimmered and transformed into their dragon or humanoid selves, moving to where the great Balamarea had come to rest, their cries and shouts of welcome filling the air as some bowed and some embraced their eldest family member. Several dryads, accompanied by some bees and fairies, took my still dreaming self by the hand and led me to join the throng of celebrants until I stood directly before the Hamadryad known as Balamarea, warden of the waves and protector of the forest, a beautiful vine-covered seed egg resting between its forelegs. Feeling deep wonder and awe, I bowed before this immense being, their voice spilling over me like warm honey. Welcome, my bardic friend. Come and join us as we celebrate the return of spring and the impending hatching of this seed egg, my golden flower. Have some tea and join us in our songs. Well, to my surprise, a beautifully carved stone cup was placed in my hand by a dryad that reminded me very much of a young yew tree. Her skin a lovely shade of brown, her spiky green hair accented with bright red berries. Steam from the tree filled my senses with a feeling of warmth and happiness and a knowing that all was as it should be. Its taste upon my tongue, that of spice and honey and home. Joining the others as they found places upon mossy covered stones and fallen logs, or rested among the branches of their kith and kin, I listened as the amazing tree dragon began to tell its tale. Now gather round me, come hear the story of the golden flower Demorea, beloved child of the sacred woodland, heart of the forest, seeker of magic and wonder and great adventure. A blossom rare and beautiful, shining brightly through the springtime and on through the summer, till it came upon the time to rest through the long and the cold, dark winter. Deep within the loam, among the old roots and the fallen leaves of autumn, warm in the shelter of its woodland kin, growing as the snows descend upon the green wood, winter storms far above those sleeping in their dens and burrows. They are dreaming. Spirits traveling the starways, celestial beings riding the firmament, magic gliding on the wind. In the starlight, the very essence of the woodland surrounds the golden one, the great dragon guardian born, future warden of the wild ways, protector of the verdant green lands, watcher of the water and the spirits of the sky. Deep within the wood, there lies a meadow, an enchanted place of wonder, just through a portal not so very far away, shimmering in the golden light of a sunrise. It called you forward, seeker. Come now, tell us of your dream. Wait, seeker? I'm a seeker. Oh, you mean me? Well, I saw you flying through some thick clouds into a starry sky, your wings aflutter with a million leaves in springtime colors, gliding on a breeze that spoke of warmth and home and gentle laughter. Dryad, shape-shifting spirit of the woodland, ancient guardian of the sprawling forest and the wild ways, I wonder, why do you fill my dreams? Always, as I sleep, I see a river winding through the mountains and a forest with wondrous beings great and small, and you there, with a shining seed egg held before you. Green shoots of spring surround you both. Your amber eyes meet mine, and then we're dreaming. spirits traveling the starways, celestial beings riding the firmament, magic gliding on the wind. In the starlight, the very essence of the woodland surrounds the golden one, the great dragon guardian born, future warden of the wild ways, protector of the verdant green lands, watcher of the waters and the spirits of the sky. Here to witness this rare birth now, I stand before you, honored to help you tell their tale, joining with the voices of the forest, calling out their songs in celebration, in welcome to the young dragon. Now let me tell you the story of the golden flower, Demerara, beloved child of the sacred woodland, heart of the forest, seeker of magic and wonder and great adventure. And as I watched that dream bard walking away into the woodlands, followed by dryads, fairies, and other folk of the fae, I had a sense that they would spend many seasons among the tree dragons in their magical forests, observing the birth of the newest guardian of the forest and watcher of the ways, witnessing and chronicling the growth and adventures of Demerara, beloved heart of the woodland. I hope that soon in my dreams that they will share these stories with me, and when they do, I will return here to share them all with you. And that's it.
That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I can't wait to hear the song. So
yeah, I'm going to be hopefully going up end of this month or into August up to the Atlanta area. Rick Nyer with Spiral Rhythm has become quite the audio recording person, and I'm going to ask him to help me record it. And John Skoglund, who through PSG, and then we went to the Osage Arts community, and also we did a show in outside of Atlanta, a midweek Midsummer Night Dream. And so he did drumming for me, and he also is learning the part of the dragon. And so he'll be
cool.
singing the dragon's part.
Oh, nice.
In that third song. And then I'm going to see if I can get other folks to come and do like sound effects, do the voices of the dryads, things like that. Putting, sound effects in the background, like when I'm walking through the snow in the very beginning, so on and so forth. So I'm hoping that possibly by September, I'll be releasing that on Bandcamp. We will see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I love the music too. The music is just, I love it. I think it's my favorite thing. These are my favorite. This trilogy is my favorite thing that I've ever written, I do believe.
Well, you said you become obsessed with it, and obsessed equals muses screaming at you, right?
Yeah.
When your muse is like pounding you over the head, that's the obsession.
It was too. Yeah. I mean, it was an everyday thing. I'm glad my husband works during the day, and that my mother-in-law puts headphones on to listen to her TV so she can hear it, because I'm sure that she and he would have just been sick and tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over and over. You know how it is, Alexian. Oh, yeah. You're just over and over and over and over and over and over and
over and over. And Victor, my husband, is like,
can't you play something else? No.
Go watch TV in the other room.
Yeah, put your headset on.
It's an artist thing. Yeah, definitely. Now you donated a download code for your recent album, Walking the Spiral: Songs from the Wheel of the Year. So if you're watching, that's coming up quickly. You might be winning her Songs of the Wheel of the Year album.
Yeah, it's 19 tracks, and what I do is I do a short track about the Sabbath, and then I do a song about the Sabbath. And so we start in Yule and we end in Yule because I had 2 Yule songs. And Yule is the start of my year, what I
Yep.
like.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I like every song on the album, and I hope you do too. I've been getting really good feedback. I have folks that say they just listen to it over and over and over again, and I'm just like, really? Wow, yay, thanks. So yeah, so lucky person, you're gonna get a download code.
Yeah. It's beautiful artwork too, I have to add.
Colleen Kazara did that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she took my concept and ran with it. And I just absolutely loved it.
It's beautiful.
Yep. Walking the spiral through the seasons of the year, and she nailed it.
She most certainly did. I love it. I love how you can see all the elements woven in there. Yeah. So you just got back from tour?
I did. I had a 2-week tour. I went to Pagan Spirit Gathering, where I was one of many artists. Oh, that picture is from Farm to Family back in 2007 or 8, I think.
I just love the face painting. I had to show it.
Yeah, that my friend Chime is an excellent face painter. And I love rainbows, so that's what happened. But yeah, so I was at Pagan Spirit Gathering with a lot of other great musicians, and I was privileged enough to be able to sing 2 different concerts there, and took part in. I'm a member of Descendants of the Dark Moon. We follow the Dark Moon. Well, a lot of people go through Maiden, Mother, Crone. We're not exactly fitting into those places, so we go with the Dark Moon, and we're here to help those with their shadow work and things like that. So
you beat me to it. I was going to ask what the DODM stand for. I thought it was Do the Dark Moon. Like
sort
of
of
the Dark Moon.
Sort of, yeah. No, but
Descendants
of the Dark Moon. Yeah, it originally started several years ago by a group of women, and so they called it Daughters of the Dark Moon. But then there were more folks that were didn't identify as female, definitely identified as male. Folks in all of the spectrum of gender identity were wanting to come and join because they felt they didn't fit the Maiden, Mother, Crone or the Master, Father, Sage categories. And so after a while, I think 2 years ago, the person that was leading it said, "Hey, Meren, would you want to be coordinator for a little bit?" Because they were wanting to not do it anymore. They've been doing it for a couple of years. So I said, sure. And one of the things that I brought up was we have people of all different gender identities. Let's make it more open. And so we changed it to Descendants of the Dark Moon. And it's
Works
just
great.
Yeah, and it's been wonderful. It's a lovely. We keep in touch during the year, and it's just a wonderful way to, if somebody has issues, they're struggling. There's you don't always feel that you can go to your Maiden, your Mother, or your Crone folks, because a lot of times it's positivity. Well, the Descendants, we know it's not, and we'll hold you in that dark space and help you through that dark space, and we understand it. So I think
I often say it's if you're depressed or sad, it's okay. That's a human emotion. We're not supposed to be perfect people, right? Mm-hmm. We have all sorts of emotions we're supposed to experience in life, and some of them are dark and sad and depressive, but you always want to have that off-ramp in sight,
Well, but here's the thing, out of darkness comes light.
That's right.
So
You might be
You may
down
be
in
in
the
your-
depths and dark, but you
Yeah.
want to find that off ramp to get back up into the light.
Yeah.
If you can't find your off ramp,
Then you turn to people who know all about
turn
it.
to people and get help. That's right.
Yes.
That's it. But it's
Yeah.
okay to be sad. It's okay to be depressed. It's
Very
part of
much so.
life, you know. Yeah. And as pagans, we know this, you know. It's, you know, we're not, you don't take drugs, you know, just because you're a little blue, unless you need them, you know.
Right. Sure.
Clean and balanced, you need them.
Sure. There's nothing against helpful pharmaceuticals.
Absolutely. So you need what you need. But, you know, if it's just momentarily, you know, it's okay. You'll be all right. You'll make it through. But turn to help if you need it. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So that's really cool. DODM, Descendants of Dark Moon.
Yeah. And then this here is PJ.
Oh,
With
let me make you
rhythm.
bigger. Let me make you bigger so we can see.
This is PJ. I've got her pinned up there. I don't want to take her down. She passed away a couple years ago. She was one of the members of Spiral Rhythm, wrote a lot of their music. And then you see here the Red Album.
Yes.
And then, of course, I Love the Moon in all of its phases. So.
Absolutely.
And the Wheel of the Year.
So where do people go if they're interested in getting their own copy of your album and see all the other offerings that you have to share?
You can go over to merenking.bandcamp.com. There it is. And you can see, look, I got Solstice Carols from Round the Yule Tree. You'll want to go and listen to that. My friend Sage Blackstone did almost all the harmonies on this for me. They're absolutely wonderful vocalists and instrumentalists in their own right. And then you can see all the songs that I have written over the years. And if you can you scroll down, or
I have these 2 slides.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, you can also order the CDs directly from there, and I can send you a CD. I still have some copies left.
Imagine that, physical CDs.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, and you'll hear the difference from my latest recordings. If you listen to my latest recordings, then you go back and listen to my very first recordings, which was Tales and Tunes, my first album, which was recorded on my telephone. And I would record the guitar and melody, and then I would play it back on my Bose speaker and re-record the harmony and the drum to go along with it, and then put them all together. And I asked Gina to do a quick cleanup on them production wise. So you can tell that those were the very beginning, and each album gets a little bit better production value until we get to the ones where Gina Lamont, the amazing Mama Gina, where she did the production for me and all the mixing and mastering and everything on my latest albums. But the reason she's not going to do the Dragon Trilogy is she has a residency over at the Osage Arts Community in Missouri. And that is a fabulous, fabulous community. And so I'm real happy for her, but she's unavailable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a journey, isn't it?
It is.
It's a journey.
Hydration.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Meren. But we're not done with you yet.
Okay.
We'll be bringing you back in just a minute for some fun. So sit tight. Don't go away, okay?
All right. I'm still here. It's been fun.
Okay. Don't go away. And to our viewers, don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the monthly show. So I have to talk about the sponsors. So, oh my goodness, I'm so mesmerized by Meren's stories. I got to like refocus now. So if your business would like to become a sponsor, head over to alexianmusic.com/sponsor for all the information on how to become one. We would love to have you. This show wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, and we're actively looking for pagan-minded businesses and services that would be interested in sponsoring the show. Okay. And that's just one show at a time. So just like below, you see, we have the sponsors of paganmusic.com, of course, which is owned by Victor and I. We've been in business since 1993 when we formed Earthtone Studios, and then we took it online in 1997 at paganmusic.com. And now over 30 years later, we're liquidating our stock, and we've held on to some titles so long that they're out of print and have become collector's items. I just can't believe how many things that we still have left. We have tons of bumper stickers. So if you're into crazy bumper stickers, we got all sorts of pagan sayings and fun things. But our goal is to liquidate the store and turn it into an informational hub for pagan music that continues to support all pagan recording artists. And today, paganmusic.com is happy to donate $25 checkout coupon for the Arcane Treasures giveaway at the end of the show, coming right up in just a couple of minutes. And we trust that it'll bring some lucky winner a happy shopping experience. And then, of course, there's my website, alexianmusic.com. There you'll find all things about me, Alexian, including my pagan community, etc., etc. I won't go into all of it today, but I'm thrilled to contribute a complimentary Rooted Kitten ongoing community membership to the Coven of Cool Cats community, and the giveaway in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so that's ongoing. Both of the sponsors have helped pay for today's show, the equipment, the streaming software services, the staff, etc. It all adds up. So we appreciate you spreading the word that we're looking for other sponsors. Okay, so let's get back to the show. So let me get Galena back on. Hey, Galena. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep on me there.
No.
Then Meren. Hey. It's time to have a little fun. Are you ready for the rapid fire question segment, Meren?
Maybe.
So what I want you to do is grab a pencil and paper, just something to jot a couple of ideas down on. You don't have to have complete answers because you can elaborate later, okay? You are going to have 1 minute to jot these 3 question answers down, okay? So let me get this right. And here we go. You have any animal as a pet, or a familiar, real or mythological, what would it be and why? If you could have any animal as a pet or a familiar, real or mythological, what would it be and why? Question 2, as a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? And question 3, if you were a deity, what 3 items would a person need in order to invoke you? If you were a deity, what 3 physical items would a person need in order to invoke you? Time's up. Okay, let's start with question number 1. If you could have an animal as a pet or a familiar, real or mythological, what would it be and why?
Well, a cat. I already have cats, 4 of them. So cat, because they are just they're absolutely wonderful animals. Or a dragon. I would love to have a dragon. S.J. Tucker has a song, Dragon in My Pocket. I would love a dragon in my pocket.
How about a kitty dragon?
It would just be fabulous for them to, because when I was young, I was bullied a lot. And it would have been great to have a dragon just come on out and go.
Or
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, question 2. As a kid, What did you want to be when you grew up?
An astronaut.
Ah, cool. Tell us about that.
I wanted to be an astronaut because of Star Trek. When I was little, Star Trek first came out, and I was hooked, and I wanted to be an astronaut. But you know, all the music lessons kind of overtook the science. I mean, it's all mathematical anyway. But yeah, I ended up not pursuing that. But when I was little, that's what I wanted to be.
That's so cool.
Yep.
If you were a deity, what 3 items would a person need in order to invoke you?
Well, I would need some kind of stringed instrument, some kind of drum. And then for the 3rd item, I don't know. A really good incense, a real nice incense, maybe, to attract my attention. Yeah. Or chocolate.
My coven asked me the same question. They helped me come up with some of these crazy items. And I said, orchids, ice cream, and penis.
Peanuts.
No, penis.
Penis?
Orchids, ice cream, and penis.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, it's all in good fun. All right. So at the beginning of the show, we said, my guest today learned to ride a dragon. It's a little obvious at this point, but
yeah, it is. Well, as soon as I could fly a flying mount, they had a lot of dragons that you could get by various ways within the game, even before Dragonflight came out. And so the dragon was always my favorite mount. And then when they came out with the tree dragons, I was like, that's the only mount I have. There's 2 different tree dragons, and I go between them. Yeah.
It's amazing. I have to just interject one more thing about World of Warcraft, and that is this latest expansion, Dragonflight. I have really enjoyed the personal dragon that you train and you learn to fly.
Yes.
And it was a whole game into itself within the game. You know, it was fun. It was a cool concept.
Have you been able to do the racing or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I raced my dragon. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It's time for the Arcane Treasures giveaway drawing. But before we draw, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring our bell. Okay. All right. So the secret hashtag word for the drawing today is wow.
Wow.
Hashtag WOW. So all of you that are watching, you have 1 minute to, let me get to the right screen. You have 1 minute to enter wow as your entry into the drawing. Someone is about to win a digital copy of Meren's album, Walking the Spiral, Songs from the Wheel of the Year. They will also win the $25 coupon from paganmusic.com and a free ongoing membership to my Coven of Cool Cats community. Just type the word wow into the YouTube chat. And if you already did it, go ahead and do me a favor and do it again, because I just hit the button. So you need to do it now after I hit the button, just to make sure. There we go. Now the entries are coming in. Thank you so much. We got 10 seconds.
7, 6, 5.
Time's up. Okay, let's go to the drawing window, which is here. Looks like we have 2 entries. We don't got a lot of live viewers today, but that's okay. It's all in the replay. Are you ready, you 2 entries? Here we go. Good luck. Natasha, congrats. You are the winner of the 5th Arcane Treasures giveaway. Please email me directly, at lordalexian@gmail.com to claim your treasures. And I want to express a heartfelt thank you to both my guests and my sponsors today. Thank you so much for joining and watching and making things special. Draken and I will be back next month along with new guests, including S.J. Tucker. Woo! Wonderful, fabulous day, and we'll see you next month. Awesome blessings. Bye-bye.